Oh my God.
Feel it in your pores and resonate like a Moor. Maybe feel like I wrote this song down. Giving this war. Put that Reggie up. Feel it in your pores, excellent like Moor. And I like eating s'mores.
You got it.
Islam, what's going on, everybody? How you feeling? What's popping? Where you at? How you doing, Mr. Decisive?
Good. I'm good. Can't complain. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. How's your weekend?
Hold on a sec. Okay, say that again.
I was saying, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was productive.
That's always good to hear.
Some good things. You know, my daughter involved and stuff. So,
Okay, well, like summer school?
No, she goes to a dance school.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
a end of the year recital, and she's switching over the company this year. So
It's like Zumba or something like that?
no, it's dance, it's hip hop, it's modern ballet, contemporary, tap
They ain't that bitch doing
dance.
they doing the you know what I'm saying, the fight you dance and shit. What they call that?
No fight you dances.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking crunking. That's what they call it. Goddamn it. No, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, they doing the Memphis jugging.
Maybe a little bit of that.
I can show them. I used to cut a little rug back in my day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For real.
Good.
For real. You know what I'm saying? Okay. What's her favorite dance move? She like the cha-cha?
I don't really think it's as much about a favorite
salsa
dance move as dance type.
Okay.
Like her favorite dance types is hip hop and lyrical.
Okay. You ever tell her about tap dancing?
Yeah, she's doing that this company. With company dance, you got to do every type of dance, ballet, hip hop, all that stuff.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. We thank you.
Out there getting it in on the dance floor. Well, where's my guys at, man?
Right here.
Oh, there you go. What's going on, man? I ain't hear you in the back. What's good? What's hood? How you feeling, man?
Man, I had to be quiet because of the echo, man. Throwing me up. What's going on?
Oh, no, nothing much, man. How was your weekend, my brother?
Man, born. It is what it is. I like it that way.
You played a little mental chess. Okay, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Always good to hear. So, Well, I like to, how we like to start the show out with a little segment called American Girls and Balls. You know what I'm saying? And in this topic today, I kind of want to speak about. I kind of want to talk about myself on this one. You know what I'm
Are
saying?
you telling yourself, or what is this?
No, I'm saying like I'm saying stand up and be not afraid to tell the world what I've been telling people for like all my life since I was like two, two or three, one of the two or three, two-ish. Yeah, I was like three-ish, like 2.5 or some shit. And when I was like 2.5 going on three, um uh I shared a room, you know what I'm saying, with my little sister. She was like one. She was very extremely advanced when she was little. I was not as advanced as her. I was like the smart baby that was trying to fix shit that wasn't broken and put keys in doors and unlock doors, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Once I was able to move, but I was so fat as a baby, I couldn't even roll over by myself till I was 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I was like a little Eskimo, just straight up. You know what I'm saying? And my little sister, on the other hand, she was doing raw shit like stacking her stuffed animals to the side of her crib and climbing out, going getting fully dressed at night, like stockings, shoes, dress, lightweight makeshift, doing her hair and shit. Now she's one, mind you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 2 years older than my little sister. And she got back into the crib. Crazy shit like that. Well, one night, um, shit. Um, basically, we had like an intruder in our room. You know what I'm saying? It was like a I really don't know how to really describe him other than it didn't look like us. It wasn't basically it wasn't human. Okay. It was like a gray figure, you know what I'm saying? Grayed out figure, you know what I'm saying? Up against the dresser with red eyes. Like, like eyes, like, you know what I'm saying? On some with a little mouth and like little slits, like nose, like not really a nose, but like holes there and shit. And it was like almost like if you ever experience sleep paralysis where you like wake up and then you still in a dream or something, you can't move. It's like someone holding you down. We was like frozen, like couldn't move and shit. But like, I mean, I don't think I was hit with a zap or like a laser or no shit or something. But I don't know if you want to call it a alien encounter or UFO or demon or angel. I don't fucking know. But I was, I still remember that. I've been telling people that my whole life. People have been playing me like I was crazy and shit or whatever. Even my little sister, just to try to be cool. I done brought this up, like, hey man, remember the time when blah, blah, blah. And she looked at me like I was stupid. You know what I'm saying? But in private, what I'm saying, she kept it real. Like, yeah, I remember that. And then one time we was in the driveway of my grandmother's old house, and I was we were talking about this, and it was like, and y'all probably experienced this, you know what I'm saying? It was like lightning happened, but no thunder. And then look up, it was like, man, like some ill shit. You know what I'm saying? Some ill shit. And the reason why I brought that up, the reason why I wanted to put that on, start out the show on American Girls and Balls with that is because just recently, like about 3 days ago, I think they started airing what happened in Las Vegas, I believe April 20th. April 20th, a policy enforcer, aka a police officer, his body cam caught a blue light fall out of the sky and hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, at the very same time that happened, you understand what I'm saying? I guess where the light fell out the sky in someone's backyard, and at the same time, some people called and so they aired the what do they call them people, the dispatcher. They aired the dispatcher call, and the dude was talking about he's seen 2 8 to 9 feet tall people, not people, but beings walking around his backyard, You understand what I'm saying? They big as fuck. They don't look human, big eyes. Like, I mean, described exactly what I've been telling people for at this point, you know what I'm saying, 30 something years. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and so it's like this exonerates me and shit. And it exonerates everybody else who got a similar story because I told my bro about this shit this morning and he told me about his story when he was 4. And also when he was like 8, and also when he was like 12. Like the same type incident, but it happened multiple times and shit. Different, like accelerating aspects, you know. And so basically they saying in Las Vegas, you know, it's all over the news, you know, how like the alien encounter, you know what I'm saying, how aliens fell out the sky like April 20th in Las Vegas. The people called, you know, it's all documented and shit. And then like in a few moments, like within 5 minutes time, the craft was gone, the beings was gone. They walked on, they got on the roof and they up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then the men in black motherfuckers pulled up in the you know what I'm saying? Like I watched about, after I seen the first video clip, I watched about 8 of those in a row. And one of them was a little bit more extensive than the others. And it talked about how basically the men in black type, you know, government people came through and confiscated their cell phones. I mean, like, and then a whistleblower, you know what I'm saying? The dude name is David Gresh, like short for David Gresham, I think. But David Gresh, basically, like a military, you know what I'm saying, whistleblower and shit. So he claims that the government has 12, up to 12 different, you know, unidentified flying objects. They're trying to re-engineer them to see if they can fly them. Man, and they've been hiding things from the general public, but people that are like consciously aware and shit like that, you know, we've been, you know, being visited by angels, all type of, you know, ill shit, you know what I'm saying? Like just how, like, for instance, animals don't fuck with these European land crooks. Animals is killing so-called white people. Like, you know what I'm saying? And same thing with these aliens. You ever notice, like, you don't never hear about like us getting abducted and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But they was chilling in my room when I was 2 or 3, you know, two is going on 3 because I'm born at the end of the year, November, you know what I'm saying? So basically that shit is all over the news. But now on the flip side of that coin, conspiracy theory wise, you know what I'm saying, everybody has always been saying basically once the government starts to reveal that we're not alone in the universe, that's when you know shit is about to hit the fan. What are they really trying to cover up while they're admitting to that? You know what I'm saying? And then you see all the little weird stuff that's going on around the country, such as the haze that's in the sky. It ain't as bad as New York City, but it was, you know, super cloudy for a few days. You understand what I'm saying? It didn't rain for 3 weeks, and now it just rained like a torrential rainstorm for the past day and a half. Now it's clearing up. The president, the ex-president got indicted for the second time, and then the standing president, you know what I'm saying, his son has huge, you know, sex trafficking allegations based off his laptop that they tried to take off the scene, and now it's back on the scene. And it shows how like the FBI and shit have been corroborating evidence and shit with them. So all type of shit is going on at the same time that they're revealing that we're not alone in the universe. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's I'll yield the floor. I just wanted y'all to be hip to that.
No, that's real. It's real.
Shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Shit is crazy, man. So I got that off my chest, man. I can't believe I said that publicly. This public. You know what I'm saying? But hey, feel good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And well, while we're on the subject, on the sort of outlandish subject, I didn't get the name of the book or the website. It starts with a D. It's like Devils or Deebles, like Debbie, but with an L next to Devils or Deebles, or Degens, something. It's DE something. You know what I'm saying? But this website drops some information about, it's supposed to be a huge Earth depopulation in 2025. Now, according to the Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, according to their doctrine, you know what I'm saying, certain curses and shit supposed to really reveal themselves in 2025. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like a super solar eclipse. They're associating that with everybody who took that, you know what I'm saying, that jab, you know, that famous jab that starts with a C. You know what I'm saying? And the people that took it unfortunately might meet a demise in 2025. But the interesting thing is, first off, the guy who was reporting this is a guy named Casey, last name Casey. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of Edgar Casey, but if you haven't, look him up. Edgar Casey, Edgar Casey. You know what I'm saying? And Edgar Casey, you understand what I'm saying, is a world-renowned metaphysical prophet. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a sightseer. Like, he's, you know, what's the word? Precognition. Like, he sees the future and different possibilities and shit like that. But this brother, this man has been dead for at least probably 50 years, you know what I'm saying? But most of his premonitions and things like that are happening in today's time. And the guy who just reported on this huge Earth depopulation, his last name is Casey. So if he's related to Edgar Casey, that means he, in my opinion, that bloodline, the relation is real. So you know what I'm saying? If he's related to Edgar Casey, he really got some information. So he just put the spotlight on this website that talks about the huge depopulation of the earth in 2025. But the interesting thing is, it wasn't depopulating Africa. It wasn't depopulating Asia. It was depopulating, you know, the West, the so-called West. So they mentioned United States, Canada, Europe, and Australia. So basically, something is coming to swallow these ones up that have been stealing everything off the planet. They about to get stole. And the thing is, Edgar Casey and possibly his son, but the other Casey, both of them are Europeans, and the Europeans are reporting on how they about to be depopulated. Because if you notice, since we're in an El Nino winter, you understand what I'm saying? This shit is burning ones out. See what I'm saying? You know, in the Bible, it talks about leprosy and shit like that. Well, leprosy is AKA skin cancer. Who catches skin cancer in the sun? Not us. You know what I'm saying? And if the El Nino winter is true as they say, which we did just experience in Cleveland, like it was only maybe 2 weeks of snow time. 2025, if it's still this hot, oh yeah, motherfuckers gonna be getting cooked out in this bitch. Especially if it's get hotter, which it will if it's El Nino. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that has something to do with the depopulation. Maybe the intra or extraterrestrials got something to do with the depopulation of the West. You know what I'm saying? And everybody who wants to coincide with those ones who consider themselves the West, aka the Euros. You know what I'm saying? And then the coon ass melanins who want to ride with rock with them, they can go with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never know. It might be something like, it's a movie called Cosmic Slop. And the very first clip of that movie talks about this shit. So it's real interesting, man. So just keep your ear to the street, keep your third eye open, and just remember this conversation that by 2025 is supposed to be a huge depopulation that these ones Europeans are reporting on. This ain't no melanated people reporting on this. This Europeans telling on themselves. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll yield the flow. Seriously this time. I ain't saying shit.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, man. It's a lot to digest.
A lot to unpack. Yeah, but well, I mean, this is the real world, you know.
No, you're right.
No rose-colored glasses anymore.
No, not at all. So let's get into it, man.
Let's go. What's good? Well, let me ask y'all this. Well, basically, in the advent of all this shit that's going on, you know what I'm saying, the very first topic, you know what I'm saying, that I wanted to talk about past this alien shit and, you know, the little so-called conspiracy theories is a question that I want to ask the panel. And I vote yay, not nay, but I want to ask y'all, do you think it's time for us to define our own culture? You know what I'm saying? Is it time for us to
It's way
define our own culture? Huh?
it's way past time.
Way past time. Okay. Now, when it's way past time, what's your thoughts on that? What you mean?
I mean that it's way past time that we should have been, working and working to figure out and understand who we really are as a people and what to be defined as.
Okay.
Instead of just accepting stuff. Because with the term African, because the
Bang
African
bang.
person ain't been around, it ain't been around that long though. You know what I'm saying? And instead of just taking it, that's something that should have been reevaluated. Like, hold up. Because it wasn't us handed to us, it was Caucasian Americans handing the ideology of that to us.
No.
Hmm.
Trying
Well,
to define who we are. So
you
that
know,
was the
when
best way. They
that's
figured since they got most of us from a boat, because that's what they think. They think since they got most of us from most of our ancestors from a boat, from overseas and stuff, that's how we could be defined and stuff. But then check this out. The funny thing about it is, if you was to call them a European American, they might lay out and have a baby. They don't want to
right.
accept their ancestry.
Right. What they do, they don't in public, but they do in private. The dude, little grandchildren, they was watching some movie. I don't think it was a Disney movie per se, but it was like, it almost looked like The Land Before Time, because it was like but it was a green brontosaurus type dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? And and it was like a little European little cave boy. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole movie, and at the end of the movie, the cave boy, he had to go back to his caveman family and shit. And so all the little, cave people, which were Europeans, you know what I'm saying, they all came in on all fours. They all walked in on all fours, man. Like, it's a Pixar movie for sure, you know what I'm saying, like 3D graphics, but they show you who they are. They know who they are. You know what I'm saying? They show us that they cavemen, they cave people. They if it's rumored that they smell like wet dogs when they get wet, and then you make cartoon movies about you walking on all fours. I've never seen never seen a movie, not even a movie of them trying to play us, of us coming in on all fours. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely not our thing. You know what I'm saying? So they be showing us, but just slightly though. They just slip it in there with that Holly weird. You know what I'm saying? They just sprinkle it in there like, yeah, this is really us, but we're gonna pretend like it's y'all. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real. You never lied. That's a great point. I've never seen a movie with us walking on four, but yet they want to call us a monkey. Right? Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting?
How could that be? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
so that's why I always be talking about the nationality aspect though, man. Why it's so important for us to have a collective identity so we can all, form like Voltron and hold each other down, you know what I'm saying, and also pick each other up at the same time, you know what I'm saying, and not have to worry about nor depend on us getting anything from anybody outside of our community, anybody from anything, unless we're doing a trade deal, like, you know what I'm saying, and it's contractual, you know what I'm saying, like, period, whatever it may be, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, it should be us owned, you know what I mean, like,
No.
and until we start defining our own culture, it's going to be defined for us. And and as long as it's defined for us, then all the degenerate shit that we don't truly accept in our community will be like the forefront, like they promoted, like, you know what I'm saying, like all that weird shit that Dwayne Wade, D Wade, and fucking the Smiths, and people like
Right.
that. You understand what I'm saying? Like the shit that we don't really accept, they pretend like we accept it, and they put it out there, and all the bullshit. Until we start defining our culture, you know what I'm saying? Like on how we want to wear our hair, how we want to wear our clothes, how we want to act in society. They're gonna continue to put movies out here, commercials out here, TV shows out here. You know what I'm saying? Billboards out here. Of us as less as second class, if not third class, fourth class people. but it's some rich ones though. But like that fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's so important for us to really define our culture, whatever that may be. And then if our culture that we have defined amongst our group, because it was never no, what they say, monolithic society, basically all melanated people thought the same way and shit like that. But we can still trade amongst each other. We can still, you know, we can have the agreement that we know we're all melanin. We know to a certain extent we're going through a similar, if not the same struggle based off of the perceived oppressor / enemy. You understand what I'm saying? So why can't we trade our ideals? You know what I'm saying? What separates us? And is a religion that separates us?
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
You said it's religion that separates us.
Yeah, is religion what separates us?
It can.
Yeah.
Is that accepting the fact of whatever it necessarily isn't wrong.
No.
But I think that Allah will put a multitude of things in place for everybody to praise Him in a different way, because everybody comes from different subcultures. I don't think Allah makes mistakes. And what I mean by that is that just because, like, for example, in Islam, the Mohammedans is what people would like to call Muslims. They truly believe that the only prophet that came was. And that makes it true indeed within where they were geographically. But my question to anybody is, if there was only one prophet, and yet the message only has spread out to the region in which that prophet was geographically located, and that means God had made a mistake. Because how could these people over here throughout the whole world didn't understand and hear the same message? Are they doomed to die too? Because they don't know? That makes no sense.
Right. It's pretty scandalous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's
scandalous as fuck. If they don't know about it, they get murked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, like God was like, man, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. They don't know the shit.
Right.
Damn. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, God, I make everything.
And they got cultures that's at least 5,000 years before, you know what I'm saying, the perceived beginning of Islam.
Yeah.
So how could they be that wrong? You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah. It makes no, you got to realize, and I practice Islam. I love Islam. That I can see the bigger picture too. Because certain commonalities don't make sense. What I know is prophet means messenger. Anybody can be a messenger at any given time.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily just one messenger. Because if it was just one messenger, okay, my question to you is anybody, again, how come this message wasn't spread at the same time when this one prophet came through? And how come everybody was practicing something different at the time when this prophet was there? And why wasn't it similar to what was practiced from prior when this particular prophet came through? That's my only question. Because you know, the spirit of discernment is also common sense, what a lot of people don't know.
Facts.
You know, you understand, and you ask the right questions, the universe will reveal itself to you. That's one thing that I do.
That is facts.
Yeah.
You know, because I hear it. You know, I get it. And shout out to my Hebrew Israelite brothers. You know, no harm, no foul. But you know, there are some questions that I have. But I'm not here to argue and debate about what is within Bible scripture. And that's good that they follow it to a T. And that's even better when they follow it and they make sure that everybody abides by through the laws and bylaws of how you should live your life. That's natural law in the sense, and I get that. But what I also understand is this. Allah put certain things in place for all of us in which to reference things, not just by Lilio Biblios, if I said that right.
Biblios Heliotek, yes, sir.
Yeah, Biblio. And my thing is this. Just like, I don't want to argue. I'm not here to debate what says in your scripture. Your scripture may not be wrong, but there are other reference points. And if that's what you want to do, to divide, to have your other group, I get it. But understand that we come from the same family. My question would be this. If that's where you just want to specialize in, that's understandable. What I mean with more group, we can have the intellect, we have the open mind enough to listen to other aspects of life. We don't have to just be so stubborn to the point where this is that. We are to an extent, but we also understand that other cultures have a certain way of life, and we have to respect it.
Right, and that's why on the nationality card of the Moors it says we honor all divine prophets. Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, and it goes longer. Krishna, you know what I'm saying? Noble Drali. Like we observe and respect all cultures. You know what I'm saying? No beef, because we come with love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and together equality. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that makes it more, that's conscious and aware. And you're absolutely right. The word prophet definitely means to come to speak. And every people had someone to come to them in their time. You understand what I'm saying? In their time. Like even the Christ, right? It's said that there were 16 Christs before Jesus, Isa, or what they say, Yahshua.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It was 16 Christs before him. So they say. So it's like the whole thing about it is that should be like that should be the last level, if not second to last level of where we come to discover our commonalities as opposed to what contrasts us. You feel me? Like, and that's why I always say that I think that Claude Anderson was so genius when he went to that church, when he goes to churches and he tells everyone that we're all non-immigrants, because regardless if that your people have always been here and never came from another place, or if you think that your people were forcibly brought here, against their will, both of those designations mean that you didn't immigrate here by choice. So we're non-immigrants. You know what I'm saying? That's what connects us all. Now all the other stuff, class, like who's rich, who's poor, you know what I'm saying? Who what religion, who's this, who's that, all that shit come later. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at other cultures, communities and shit, they look at all that other shit later. You know what I'm saying? Like all Indians don't get along. Muslims hate Hindus in India. They kill each other. Religion that's sort of in the middle of Islam and Hindu. You know what I'm saying? They're the guys the Indian guys who have big beards and have turbans, but they wear a silver armband. You know what I'm saying? They wear a knife on their hip. Every single one of them. The thing that they all have in common is that, guess what? They're all Indian, and they know they all come from India. Take what they got from them, even though their religions keep them separate. The fact that they know that they're Indian, you understand what I'm saying, keeps them together. And that's the only way to really win, because they always say, divided we fall. Only united we stand. We stand tall. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you definitely hit it on the head. And then that's what I'm telling my one little IP. Shout out to my little IP, MJ. It's nothing wrong to be devout in Islam. Alhamdulillah. It's nothing wrong with it.
Problem when
you have a problem trying to navigate the actual real world. Because what I tell people, in my own understanding of Islam, your deen, or the way in which you go about with your religious practices in the outside world, is measured by how you're on the outside of that, and not necessarily in the confinements of your mosque or a group of your Muslim brothers. And that's fine if you're out somewhere, and if you want to be the representation of that, that's cool, alhamdulillah. But understand, you still have to be able to navigate the world, even if you're outside of the realm of that. Because remember, when you chose to be a devout in whatever religious sect you are, you must be the embodiment of that. And you must have an open mind. Because again, like Aki Noble said, people may not like you. They may be devout enemies. But because the way in which you present the way of life from your religious understanding, people can have more respect.
Dig.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's not, anybody can be a Christian that goes to church, and there's nothing wrong with fellowshipping with your fellow brethren in your confined space. But if life was that easy, we would all do that. It's unfortunate. We got to go out here into this real world and deal with people on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So with that being said, you don't know who you may inspire just from the way you conduct yourself. And I had to realize that too.
Well, you know
there's
what?
a certain way that I conduct myself, and I go to jobs, and I may say, hey, what's up, Aki? Or what's going on? Oh, man, assalamu alaikum. And walaikum wassalam. And then, I commend them, and I give them I give them love, and I'm like, I like how the way you represent and do that. And I'm not doing anything outside of just being myself and being the embodiment of that. Now, if I was out here, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, I keep like, man, this how they do it. Oh, man, I'm cool. And that's, people got to understand, man, you are the embodiment, whether you choose to be or not. Well, remorse, whether we choose to be or not, we want to have that title. When we say El Obey, we have to conduct ourselves a certain way. That's just what it is.
Well, in regards to that, my brother, I got a great question specifically for you. Since you brought up embodiment. Well, we talk a lot on this show about the embodiment of manhood, and that is classified as masculinity. And so I wanted to ask you, what is true masculinity?
Man, that's a great question. It can be defined any way, but it's not necessarily the way in which people think that it's defined by. From my walk of life and getting rooted into masculinity, the first thing that I can say is masculinity prioritizes patience in adversity, in the face of danger, in the face of any problematic situation. It prioritizes patience. You have to have patience not only with your family, with your children, and your significant other. Masculinity understands the importance of discipline.
I what I witnessed, and this is going on a lot, unfortunately, because we got boys. We got boys that's going around killing people based off of just words. What they don't, they get turned down by a woman. They shooting them and stuff. We got this issue on nowadays. and it contributes to these mothers because I'm a personal, a personal witness to the testament of this trifling broad and how she raising her son off because she's mad about the fact that the daddy don't want to be with her.
Right.
You know
I'm
what
glad
I'm
you
saying?
brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
I talked to his father.
Glad you brought that up.
Understand, like there's
because
a line that has to be drawn because
because
he's being raised with male masculinity and female emotions, and that's dangerous.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I always say. Like, when ones be, when the youth like kill somebody for stepping on their shoe, you know what I'm saying, or you bumped into me and shit like that, and then they go into their female emotions and then kill somebody. And the reason why I say female emotions as opposed to man, because all right, look at it like this, if a female is mad at you and shit, she might do some shit like key your car, bust your tires, bust your windows, some shit. Technically, she killing you. She's not killing you because she love you, but she killing you by destroying your shit. And that's her showing her emotions, you know what I'm saying? Because killing your shit is technically killing you. You know what I'm saying? But you're still around so she can come back to you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the youth, they do that shit raised by their mom and shit like that. And so the first thing they do, bow. You know what I'm saying? Not just their mom per se, but you know what I mean? Raised by society, raised by the ills of society. You know what I'm saying? In a single parent home that just so happens to be led by a single man.
They're always easy to take on a challenge. Usually they come out on top. That's just what they do. Command the group. You know what I'm saying? It is what gonna get it done by it's necessary. And also they take responsibility for when the group goes wrong too. So it's just like the natural point here
for the outcome. Okay. Now what about Omegas?
Omegas have all of the characteristics of a sigma and an alpha combined, but it's just more or less tailor-made to a control aspect. So when you're dealing with an omega, it's not necessarily a good or bad perspective, but dealing with them and how they think and how they move, they're going in the way that's the most effective for them and what they do. So it's just like, omegas are really,
a pimp.
They are.
So pimps are omegas.
You know what I'm saying? Omegas will probably have like a team of alphas and, you know what I'm saying, maybe a couple of sigmas, a lot of gammas above them. You know what I'm saying? Like they control businesses, things of that nature. So good with the advanced science and math. So that nature.
So pimp would be an omega. Pimps is omegas. Would you consider pimps omegas? Yeah.
I guess you kind of say that.
Based off that.
Yeah, they do use a control aspect.
Crazy. Interesting. So
question, Keith. What would you define yourself?
Myself?
Well, fuck it, for the parent.
I heard you say what I would define myself, but you had something else to that?
I was saying, what would you define yourself as far as way?
I guess I would go a little more along the lines of being a Sigma male.
Sigma?
Yeah.
Mr. Nova, what would you define yourself as?
I'm in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm in the cause shit, I've been bucking at the system my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? I've been fighting.
Make that brother feel less of himself.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like he shouldn't be shot down because of his opinion, especially if it's a dating show. If it's a dating show, everybody in the dating world has a preference of who they wish to date or not. So what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So that's hypocritical all in itself. You know what I'm saying? But guess who's giving the show? The bitch Oprah. So, I mean, hey, you build schools in Africa. Did you build schools for the people in your backyard? No. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you got allegations of international sex trade with of children, you know what I'm saying, you're a woman, like, you know what I'm saying, you're satanic as fuck. So hey, you know what I'm saying, so pushing the agenda against, you know, men, you know, she buddy up with all the rest of them that, you know, push the agenda against their own people. Matter of fact, while we were talking right before you got on this subject, one of the videos popped up on the phone, you know what I'm saying, YouTube alert. It was Dave Chappelle exposed Oprah on something like so after the show I'm gonna watch that. But you know what I'm saying, it's funny, it's probably in line with what we're talking about right here, because you know, out of all the, like I said the last time, out of all the people, like Dave, you know, my boy Dave Chappelle remain a real, you know, never ignorant, getting goes accomplished, you feel me, he a real one. He a real one, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like that's wrong. I mean, and at the end of the day, it's like, to a certain extent, I feel the same damn way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really want to deal with your baby daddy drama and all this other shit. Like, you know, I want you for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to deal with that shit for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
not just that. I can't.
like,
well, did you have a?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying,
insight?
Yeah, I'm saying insight on this shit. Like, I can relate to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't necessarily discriminate against a woman with children, but at the same time, if you know, my preference is my preference. You know what I'm saying? If that was my preference, that's not necessarily my preference. But what I'm saying is, I can agree with the brother on the aspect of him not wanting to deal with anyone else's baggage, you know what I'm saying, to where he has already gotten. Because if he was, you know, prioritizing, if he you know, first off, he prioritized himself and his purpose. That's why he got to where he was at. Right. So now he's gotten to the level where he's able to open the door to prioritize a potential, you know, woman in his life. You understand what I'm saying? And he doesn't want her to come with so many strings attached that he can't have her all to himself. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know, that's what it seems like. You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in. And
not just that, but the responsibilities that come with, you know what I'm saying, right, taking care of the child.
Right.
That some guys might not be okay with. Like, you know, you might meet a woman that may allow you to be able to step into the child's life and actually fulfill that into that full role as being the child's dad. And then you got some women to be like, hey, I only need you to do the financial part and the emotional part. But when it comes down to, you know, what kind of person they're going to be in disciplinary actions, you know, you don't have no play in that. Yeah, and that can be very hard to go for.
I wouldn't go for that shit. That's instantly, we're going to break up. You're going to do that on your own or deal with another guy. I don't have time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you done made it to the Oprah show, you know what I'm saying, you probably doesn't have time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just flat out. So for, you know, for the backlash.
I think, in my personal opinion, if the modern day standard for, you know, regular people or that city life of living is going to be that a high value dude is a guy that has connections, money, and knows how to keep the money, things of that nature. And a woman wants a guy, she prefers a guy, you know, or a modern woman, as I should say, prefers a guy to have more than she has. That's you're tearing a guy down so you can be able to say that you're on his level, which doesn't make any sense now. You're going to tell him his car doesn't matter, his money don't matter, whatever school he goes to doesn't matter, or graduated doesn't matter, whatever job he works doesn't matter if he has a nasty attitude. Granted, you can say that, but then you can't sit there and tell him that his value is zero. Just so you can be like, hey, I'm better than you now, or you should thank your lucky stars you able to talk to a woman like me, or to champion other women to discredit this man and not. That's like a bully type mentality. Just because you personally probably wasn't able to fit that man's standard, now you're going to make his standard not existent at all.
Yeah,
that's a mob-like mentality. And again, like say, how is a guy supposed to be comfortable with addressing certain issues with you? If he got to go up against multiple women's opinion based off of what one woman is doing, but then when he wants to try to show enlightenment to that one woman based off of what other women are doing in similar situations who seem to be doing it better. Now she feels offended. Again, to put the brother down, to not be appreciative of a woman of that of any caliber to dealing with him at all. So it's like,
well,
I'm not saying, you know, men don't have their problems too, but I have seen that even when we're doing right, there's a bit of putting a guy down to keep him in check. If a woman don't need no change put on her, if she's been unprotected and she needs to let her voice sing out, people need to hear her. We both have gone through trauma. We both have been through bullshit, and we both need compassion. And you need a strong man to be on the side of y'all strong egos and attitudes and stuff like that. Seriously. Because that's not for the weak heart.
Facts. Well, you know, as they say, you know, women are the prize.
She can be a prize if she knows how to play her position. That goes for everybody. Everybody gotta know how to play their position.
But
seriously,
the caveat to that, women are the prize. Men are enough.
Yeah.
We're complementary. No one's better than the other. Women have the women that have the woman's intuition. Men, we have our gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? In that instance, you know, women are the prize, but men are enough.
I agree.
And one man's treasure is another man's trash. Just like one man's trash is another man's treasure.
That is true.
So,
well, I mean, let's just say a happy life and a loving relationship.
They say a happy wife, happy life.
No, fuck happy spouse, happy house, brother.
Happy, yeah, happy husband, happy home. Shit. That's what I say. Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. Happy husband, happy home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the happy house, happy spouse is putting them both together and shit, not breaking it apart. You know what I'm saying? Right.
You don't need to be broken apart.
Right. Look. Happy wife. Look.
More bullshit than the other.
Look.
When we both just say our life.
We just said it out of order. Happy wife, happy life. Happy husband, happy home. Happy spouse, happy house. See what I'm saying? Levels. And they come together like Voltron and shit. You feel me? Right. Happy spouse, happy home. Yeah. I mean, happy spouse, happy house. Yeah. That's raw.
That's all it is. One don't need, we don't, you know what I'm saying?
But that's why I said the copy. That's why I said when you were saying, that's why I said women are the prize. But men are enough. That's the most, that can be like the most important statement that any man can hear from a woman. But even if not hearing it from a woman, he must hear it from himself that he is enough, regardless of what the world throws at him. You know what I'm saying? Men are enough. And at the same time, that little girl, or, you know what I'm saying, that woman that's, you know, down and out, you know, she got to realize, you know, she is the prize. You know what I'm saying? And stop just going looking for losers. You know what I'm saying? And get on the vibe of winning.
If we teach both genders to build yourself to be something wanted, you know what I'm saying, appreciated, then you can become a prize. The both of them can.
Right.
But just being there, I mean, yeah, the physical aspect, cool, but what's going to come from the inside? I felt like the woman did have a message to say on the show, and they just squandered it trying to put the man down by saying that people's value is based off of their character and not necessarily all about the material aspect. I do agree on that. But to tell a man who put the work in to say, hey, I want to be able to write my own story and not finish somebody else's story, respectfully, for him to be put down and say, you have no value. Because now all women who have children off top don't have access to this man and will feel away because they believe he's a wonderful man. If y'all didn't think he was shit anyway, then his words wouldn't have made so much of a difference to you. But it did, because he is a man with value. Just like a woman with value is saying, I don't want to be with no chubby man that, is sitting up smoking cigarettes all day or whatever the case. She has the right to her opinion because she put the work in to make herself look the way she is and act the way she does, along with her upbringing. They both have a say so. That's all I'm saying. That they both have a say so.
Upbringing. Okay. Dig that. Well, I don't want to let too much time get past without 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 letting the people know that that the Pope rescinded the doctrine of discovery on March 30th, 2023, right? And that is basically, I'm gonna read let me see, I'm gonna read this article real quick. It's like a short little paragraph. It says the Vatican on Thursday, March 30th, 2023, responded to indigenous demands and formally repudiated the doctrine of discovery, the theories backed by 15th century papal bulls, which are laws written and decreed by the Pope that legitimize the colonial era seizure of native lands and form the basis of some property law today. Like, so let me read that last part again. The theories, the doctrine of discovery, the theories backed by 15th century papal bulls that legitimize the colonial era seizure of native lands and form the basis of some property law today. So basically, the doctrine of discovery gave these colonizers the perceived ability that they was able to just come over here and steal all our shit and steal everybody's shit all across the planet because of the doctrine of discovery, which was a decree that the Pope, and for those who don't know, anyone who ever said they were Christian, anything, I don't give a fuck what Christian you thought you was, you're also Catholic. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Catholics are Christians, I mean to say. But if you're not Catholic, you're a Protestant. But all Christianity is run by the Pope. Regardless if you're a Mormon, a Seventh-day Adventist, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, if you are, dare I say it, I mean, possibly Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm saying? Baptist, you know what I'm saying? Pentecostal, non-denominational, Lutheran, Methodist, all of that shit. Everything is ran by the Pope, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So when any revolutionary person ever asks you what was your religion prior to the time of slavery, you should really question that. You know what I'm saying? But because of this doctrine of discovery, like for instance, in the Philippines, right? That's a popular destination, you know what I'm saying, for American quote unquote expats. The Philippines, which is a Southeast Asian country, they speak Spanish. Why do they speak Spanish? Because the Spaniards took over the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? Now, isn't it ironic? Like for instance, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao don't speak Filipino. Filipinos speak Spanish. They speak Spanish like Mexicans speak Spanish. But they just got their own brand of Spanish, just like Mexican got a different brand of Spanish, different from like Puerto Ricans, which is different from Dominicans and different from Cubans, but they all speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like some say copa, some say taza for a cup, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, the doctrine of discovery allowed these colonizers to try to not try, you know what I'm saying? They colonized the whole fucking planet, you know what I'm saying, because of this decree. You understand what I'm saying? So then Christianity swept the land in all these different forms, you know what I'm saying, based off the doctrine of discovery. After the Moors, were expelled from Spain 1492 and Cristobal Colombo came over here, you know what I'm saying, to bring that shit and just all the horrors that happened over there on the continent of Africa during their colonization, you know what I'm saying, from the late 1700s and the 1800s all the way up until like the 1950s, you know what I'm saying, when they started gaining so-called independence. You know what I'm saying? And then over 95 or 9,400, so it's about 9,500 treaties that, you know what I'm saying, were shitted on, you know what I'm saying, by the by these colonizers of indigenous people. 9,500 treaties. That's 9,500, you know what I'm saying, about 900, I'm sorry about that, about 9,500. You understand what I'm saying? Man, that's crazy. Can y'all hear my dog snoring in the background? Do y'all got any pets? That this dude is funny, man. But anyways, over 9,400 something treaties were shitted on by these colonizers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna put, I'm not gonna give Europeans all the power of the whole colonizer, because it's also, some melanated groups that came over here on some colonizing shit too that they don't like to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And they still here colonizing and usurping our shit, and then pretending like they with us and shit, and then swap out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because over there in certain African countries, these crazy motherfuckers still wearing powder wigs, so they twisted. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then it's video after video of people regretting their trip to Ghana. They want to come back. You know what I'm saying? But they in the situations where they can't. You know what I'm saying? Because they thought they was just about to go over there and sit back and just shit about to just be all gravy, and it's not what people think in all instances. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what they show. That's not what they popularize. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing about it, the doctrine of discovery has been rescinded this year. You know what I'm saying? 2023 on a Thursday, March 30th, 2023, it's been rescinded. So that means, you know what I'm saying, that coincides with, the aspect of us, basically defining our own culture. You understand what I'm saying? That deals with us defining our own culture, because, now, first off, if you look up this document, it's called the DRIP, the Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. Read all those articles, specifically Article 6, but you know what I'm saying, or not specifically, but firstly Article 6, which is like of utmost importance and beyond. You know what I'm saying? The Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People was a document that President Obama actually signed in, I believe, 2010. You understand what I'm saying? And no other president prior to him would sign that document. And it's basically a document saying that indigenous people can't be forced and compelled, you know what I'm saying, to be assimilated into other people's culture. You know what I'm saying? We can have our own shit. We always could have our own shit. Don't get it twisted. Paperwork don't make you. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, it officiates things. You know what I'm saying? It puts it in black and white. You know what I'm saying? And that's been on the books since 2010. You know what I'm saying? And then in 2014, the Pope at the time, he put out a letter, an edict known as the motu proprio. And the motu proprio basically shut down all of these illegal ass so-called police agencies and all this other shit. All these, you know what I'm saying? Like, that have been oppressing and terrorizing our people and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was shut down since 2014. You understand what I'm saying? So they've been operating illegally since 2014. Because in any city around the United States, you know what I'm saying, when ones be on that bullshit, you can really get them in trouble by going to the diocese. Like, the Catholic church that's like in the downtown, like say right here in Cleveland, downtown Cleveland, I believe the church is on like 9th, not 9th, but like it's maybe it's West 6. I mean, not West 6, excuse me. It's like East 6, right there downtown. It's either East 6 or East 9th. You understand what I'm saying? But the Cleveland diocese, you know what I'm saying, where the Jesuits and all that shit, where they run all this shit. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where, that's where you hit them at. And it's like that in every city. They don't popularize that, they don't publicize that, but that's what it is. That's who run all of this shit. And the Pope shut them bitches down. You know what I'm saying? So now this is the last act. You know what I'm saying? They removed their doctrine of discovery, trying to wash their hands, wipe their hands clean, because they know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told you earlier in the video, earlier in the show, you understand what I'm saying? They're already reporting that in 2025, mark my words, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be, according to them, it wasn't no melanated brother or sister who said this, but according to the Europeans, they said that it's gonna be a wipeout in the West. You know what I'm saying? Western countries, but they didn't say Mexico. They didn't start talking about South America and Central America and the Caribbean islands. They said specifically United States, Canada, Europe, and Australia. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, they're trying to run. You know, they got all these bases underground and shit like that, trying to go to Mars if they can or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, who knows? But I just wanted to let y'all know that the doctrine of discovery has been rescinded. So indigenous peoples nationwide, you know what I'm saying, pick your shit up, you know what I'm saying, and represent who you is, be who you is. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying, ain't no doubt of contradiction. You understand what I'm saying? Be proud of who you is, you know what I'm saying, and be that, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let them tell you that you can't, because they can't tell you. Literally. Their boss said that they can't. You understand what I'm saying? And the one thing that I do know about these colonizers is that they do follow the law, their own law. That's how you can always get them in trouble with their own shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, don't throw away your Bibles, because you can indict them with that. You understand what I'm saying? Because Deuteronomy fuck up a lot of their little laws in court and shit like that. Like if you was gonna do some voodoo on their ass, shit, get the Book of Psalms. Trying to tell you, it's just different ways that you know what I'm saying. So, hey, the doctrine of discovery has been rescinded, and so now indigenous people, you know what I'm saying, stand up, you know. And guess what? Spiritually, in Haiti, they didn't have guns and shit like that at first. You know, they didn't remove Napoleon, the strongest army at that time. You know what I'm saying? The strongest military, excuse me, at that time. You know what I'm saying? In the world at the time, actively. You know what I'm saying? They didn't repel them. You know, they repelled them spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And so with the doctrine of discovery, that's our ancestors rising up. Like, hold on, it's time. You know what I'm saying? To step up, real shit. So do what you got to do. I yield the flow.
Damn. That's something heavy. Never knew about do something to that, learn something new.
Islam.
Damn, that's deep. I'm about to do some homework.
Yeah, doctrine of discovery, formerly been, repudiated. It's up out of here, rescinded, rebuked. So all of the treaties that they shitted on from all the indigenous people in America, you know what I'm saying, has now been basically exonerated. You know what I'm saying? All, shit. So now it's time for us to do our land grab. You know what I'm saying? But that's why they put it, spend this out so fucking crazy, making us, perpetually, destroy ourselves and shit. So they don't even have to do it. Even if they not here, we gonna do it for ourselves. That's what we have to stop. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to define our own culture and shit. That's why we need to, like, the shit that we don't stand for, we need to be vocal about it and really stand against that shit. Fuck them niggas them ones, excuse my language. The ones, you know what I'm saying, that promote the degenerate shit, you know what I'm saying, to act like that's the thing to do in the melanated community. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to stop that shit. And also, before we go, shout out to, rest in power, you know what I'm saying, to that girl with the last name Owens, who was brutally murdered, you know what I'm saying, by this Crockett bitch, you know what I'm saying, K bitch, you know what I'm saying, who was being rude to her children and threw the little child iPad and shit. And the mom came across the street to come question her about the iPad, and then the K bitch shot her through the door and killed her. You know what I'm saying? In cold blood. You know, she's been they're trying to give her manslaughter. You know what I'm saying? It was really murder. It wasn't no fucking manslaughter. But you know what I'm saying? At least it's something, but it's really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was murder. You know what I'm saying? They need to call it what the fuck it is. But her last name was Owens. I don't know her first name, but that's, you know, part of my last name as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm Owens Bay. You feel me? So and prior to shit, I don't know nobody, I don't know anyone that I'm related to actually that I know with my last name. So I mean, shit, it could be my fucking cousin or something like that. But I think it happened down in Florida recently. But the girl's name was Owens. You know what I'm saying? And she was a melanated girl. And her children was like, I guess, playing on the yard, and the mean lady next door, get the fuck out my yard type shit, you know, chase the little children off the yard, you know what I'm saying? And then one of the child left their iPad, so the child came back to try to get it, and I guess the lady threw it and broke it. So the mom was coming across the street to come like, hey, well, you know, calm down on my children. And before she could even, you know, knock on the door, the lady through the door, bust her through the door and killed her, murdered her, cold blood, recently. You know what I'm saying? That should be all over the news like these fucking school shootings that they, you know, orchestrate every fucking week. These mass shootings and shit. What about the Owens girl? So I just want to put that out there too. Like shit. Huh?
You know what has been on the news though?
What's that?
I think it's weird.
What?
What's up with this cloudy weather we've been having, brother?
Yeah, that's that it's a it was I guess a forest fire in Canada, in the east coast of Canada, in the eastern region of Canada, and you know it came down on us, you know, in the northeastern United States. It was real bad, like dystopian future bad in New York City. So we didn't even get the brunt of it. Like their sky was completely yellow. Over here it was just like, it looked like it was real foggy for a few days and shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they claimed. They claimed that it was a forest fire in Canada and the wind pushed it down on us.
My next question is, has anybody seen any video evidence of this forest fire?
No, they probably got some video evidence of some fire, but they ain't showing who said it. You know what I'm saying? Or
they have any video evidence of them trying to fight it or anything like that? The fire just burning out of control and that caused that smoke? Because you would think it would be some type of evidence to say the size of this fire that caused a city, let alone cities, to be affected by this fire having days worth of smoke covering.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I find it quite odd, but hey, I mean, you never know. I would just like have to ask, like, if someone have any family members in California. If you got any family members in California, when the wildfires happen out there, is it days of smoke, across the whole region? And if so, then it's a normality. But if not, then it's some orchestrated shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because they generally have wildfires at least once a year or once every 2 years or something like that we hear about. Now, I've heard that, you know what I'm saying, it could possibly be, NATO, setting them fires and shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, who knows? Just put that out there. Something to look into. But I just want to say, I see on the screen, you know what I'm saying, the Trauma Recovery Center. So I want to shout that number out too, 216-644-5487. 216-644-5487, the Trauma Recovery Center, because it's a whole lot of trauma in Cleveland, man. You know, there's a whole lot of trauma out here. And shit, if you could, if you needed someone to talk to or something like that, and they had the resources, or you were looking for resources but didn't know where they were at, that's the number. I haven't committed it to memory, and it went off the screen. So one day I will commit that to memory, so I could it'll roll off the tongue. But You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of trauma out here, so you know, anything like that, you need it. But yeah, you got anything for the people, Lo?
Yeah, man. Get at us. Get at me. IG, capital A, capital J, capital uppercase I, like the people believe it.
Okay. Well, shit, brother Lo, before we get up out of here, I mean, brother Muhammad, sorry about that. Pardon self. How can the people get in touch with More Than Meets the Eye?
More Than Meets the Eye at gmail.com. You can send us your likes, comments, videos, anything of that nature, and we'll answer that. We'll give you a shout out if you want us to, things of that nature. You can also hit us up on More Than Meets the Eye on YouTube as well. Drop videos that you want us to review or things of that nature, and get back to you and let you know how it goes.
All right. Well, me, Noble Khan, you know what I'm saying? You can hit me up on my business line. Like, if you send me, any, say, for instance, if a scenario popped off and you needed to show me the evidence of it or show me something that I need to do some research on when it deals in the health field, you can always send the photo or send the image, you know what I'm saying, to my business line, which is area code 919-766-2951. Again, that's 919-766-2951. And if you need to get with me personally on an emergency aspect, you know what I'm saying, you can also hit me up at 216-556-1225. And just for general conversation or reach out or something like that, and you feel more comfortable on social media, you can hit me up at on Instagram at I_am_the_real_Noble Khan. That's NOBLEKHAN. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.
Hey. I'm excellent like a Moor. Systematic oppression, leaving families torn. We was kings and queens the minute we was born. Treat us like a pawn, imperialize the lawns. If we ain't bearing arms, how we really strong? How we gonna go to war if our pockets ain't long? Create a black Wall Street, then they dropping the bomb. Manipulate the weather, man creating the storm. Hanging is a norm if you don't want to conform. Now cases is adjourned without a concern. Racism ain't genetic, it's gotta be learned. The jail was where they need to be without a return. They say it's free, but freedom simply gotta be earned. Constitution in old ways simply gotta be burned as the world turns. Research cause you gotta discern. Study up, cause there's always knowledge to learn. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor. Why they claim peace instead they giving us war? True Ali is in my core, his principles not ignored. Love, truth, and peace is worthy to be explored. Freedom and justice essential so we can soar. As above, so below ain't a motto, but it's a law. Geometry sacred, this power can open doors. Why they mention this slavery, but not what happened before. If you want me to vote, reparations they need restored. We deserve more instead of beating down on the floor.
Oh,
Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor.
what is old boy doing in the blue though? Right.
Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor.
Okay, so we'd like to thank you for tuning in to More Than Meets the Eye on the station where we don't bring no static, but we sure enough bring the noise. Make sure to check us out on Facebook.com, all No Static Radio, Twitter at No Static _radio, Instagram at The Real _ No Static Radio, YouTube at No Static Radio, and our newest platform, oh there it is, Discover TV, No Static Radio. Also for replays of this show and others, you see it, Mixcloud, just type in the word. And for continuous streaming, TuneIn.com, LiveOnlineRadio.net, or MediaQ for an uninterrupted listening experience. And for all things on Static Radio, including up and coming events, merchandise, and an in-depth look at all our great show hosts, check out our website, which is soon to be under construction at www.nostaticradio.net. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to hit up these finals, y'all, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow morning with Body Talk.